Hi, how's everyone? Thanks for coming back. If you're new, hello and welcome. I'm glad you found me. We're doing Cancer today, just a nice, straightforward four position spread for Cancer. Let's see what's going on in your astrology here, Cancer. In tropical, the whole sky right now is a shit show. There's squares all over the place. There's two oppositions going on right now, which makes it a uh like a grand cross, but that's not it doesn't feel good. It's very opposing energy. We've got some squares, we've got oppositions, we do have some trines, but everybody is doing their own thing up there, and the energy is kind of running into everything else. So things feel a little disjointed, things may feel a little confusing, a little overwhelming. There are some very good currents of energy going on. We've got some good trines going, we've got some good sextiles going, got a couple conjunctions going. So Cancer, right now in tropical, you've got Jupiter in you, and it's trine with the moon and Saturn conjunct in Pisces, right around the same degrees, about 23, 25, 27 degrees, all within a 5-degree arc. It's also in tropical conjunct with Neptune at about zero-ish. I mean, that's a loose conjunction. Usually my conjunctions get about 4 or 5 degrees arc of closeness. Some people go up to 7. Um, I keep it around 4 or 5. So this one is a little loose because you got Jupiter at 23 and then Neptune at 0 degrees in Pisces. That's a good 7 degrees difference. So there may be a little bit of influence there, but not, it might be underlying, not much. Um, in sidereal, Cancer is clear. But again, you got the moon and Saturn still conjunct with Neptune a little bit closer all together in Pisces. Okay? And then you do have it, that's kind of all involved with a grand trine with Lilith in Libra. I do believe in sidereal, she's still in Virgo, but she may be progressed enough where in both tropical and sidereal, Lilith is in Libra. Um, so that's that balance of that feminine power energy. That, remember, Lilith is our big titty goth girl, shit kicking in her Doc Martens, trying to bring down the patriarchy. But then she's in a grand trine with your ruler, the moon, and Saturn, the taskmaster, and Neptune, the ruler of Pisces, all in Pisces. So there is very heavy energy in the emotional realm today. The subconscious, the emotions. I heard emotional stability, emotional maturity. There could be some spiking of emotions, like quick tempers, maybe. I'm not sure where Mars is. But we're going to do a 4-card spread for you. It's going to be much more than that. You know me. I always go to the bottoms and check things out underneath. Bottoms need to be paid attention to. So we're doing that past influence, current energies, near future, and looking forward. Maybe we might get the anchors, but I'm going to pull from underneath anyway. So, Cancer, get in here. Settle down with some tea and let's talk about this, okay? In the past influence, we've got a couple really interesting energies playing here. Past influence, you have a 2 of Cups. Okay, that was sweet recognition. Signs point to a good love. But underneath that, you had the 6 of Swords moving on to something else. Okay, so this is quietly leaving behind conflict. There was something in this 2 of Cups, in this relationship, that was very conflicting. Okay, we did have conflict come up yesterday. Uh, what did we do yesterday? Saturday, what did we do for Saturday? Oh, I'm drawing a blank. Sorry, that happens. And underneath that 6 of Swords, you have the 4 of Cups. Okay, this is dwelling on disappointment but getting stuck in that dwelling is going to distract you from seeing another opportunity. Okay? Because underneath that, you have the Lovers, Gemini energy. So let's look at this a little bit deeper. You've got the Two of Cups here. This was, it says you can trust this choice. Signs point to good love. Now, some of you in the collective, this, excuse me, I'm burning incense, I'm burning sage, my throat gets dry. Okay, for some in the collective, there was a Two of Cups here that you moved on from, okay? And you were dwelling on maybe what was lost. And that Four of Cups here, you can see that the ship on the horizon is leaving. So this, see the Four of Cups here is this guy sitting on the beach looking at these four dumped out cups. Now, when you look from his perspective, there's the four cups, and behind that in the ocean, he's watching that ship leave. Okay. So in the collective, you may have left behind a Two of Cups because there just was some conflict here. You've got the Six of Swords on the backside, and it says quiet leaving. So this may be something that just fizzled out and you had to leave, or something that you kind of snuck away from. I don't feel ghosting here. I feel discontent and disillusionment. So, but, yeah, discontent, disillusionment, and they got in the boat and they left because I actually kind of like this scene. Okay, I know it's hard to see. Oh gosh, it's really hard to see. So you got this person in a boat. Now, in the old days, they used to park a ship far off where they could drop anchor, and then they would take a boat back and forth. Okay, so this person looks like they're in this boat and they're going towards the ship that's out there a little bit further. Okay, they don't want to miss this time. For others in the collective, this is something that you left. Okay, so for some in the collective, there was a disillusionment of a Two of Cups and you left. Okay, for others in the collective, the Two of Cups was the opportunity and you left something else, okay, to go towards that Two of Cups. Because you wanted to not miss another opportunity, right? So maybe there was in the past, I don't have anything for the past. Oh, well, this is the past. Okay. So, because underneath that, what was on the boat? It was the Lovers. I don't know how I can show this. Let me try. Bear with me because I know the camera is not very good. So, I'm going to try to set it up so you can see what I'm looking at here. Give me a second. So we're going to go like this. Okay, here's the Two of Cups. You see that? Here's the Six of Swords. Okay, quiet leaving. Here's the Four of Cups. There's the ship on the horizon. And for me, it feels like what was in the ship? The Lovers. Okay? Now, your book ended here by choices. The Two of Cups, Gemini energy, no, Cancer energy, that's you. But twos are always a choice. Okay, you choose that other person's cup and they choose yours. You choose to share your cup and they choose to share theirs. Okay, so there was in the past a Two of Cups possibility. I'm going for, I feel like there's more energy in the collective for the ones that are moving towards the Two of Cups in the past because they didn't want to miss out on a lover's opportunity. Okay, they chose. So this says you can trust this choice. Signs point to good love. And then the Six of Swords says quietly leaving behind conflict, go on and get. The Four of Cups says dwelling on disappointment, you will miss the next ship. And then the Lovers, a decision. Wait, what does this say? a decision made in harmony with another person. See? Okay, so that's the past influence, right? You moved on, you quietly moved on towards, I heard, I'm looking for a new love, baby, a new love. So current energies, we've got the sun, wonderful. This is success is assured, be joyful, all will be well. So there is still some trepidation here a little bit. Did I make the right decision? Did I, did, I heard I heard mm, I'm sensing there's some in the collective who are frustrated because they trust they're always guided to trust their heart, then they trust their heart and they are disappointed. Okay, I get that. But this here in the current energy, we've got the sun, we've got the Eight of Swords, and we've got the Tower on the backside, and under that, success. Okay, great, great cards here today for you, Cancer. I know you're a little squeamish with some of the energy being tough. You're kind of your soft cookies on the inside. You've got that hard shell, but that sometimes is a facade. Okay, that hides that soft, squishy center. So here in the current energy, look at this. We've got the sun, okay, on the front side. Even if it would have been on the back side, the sun is the best energy. It's like Jupiter energy. Even when it's retrograde, it's still pretty good. The sun is wonderful. Be joyful, okay? All is well. All will be well. You see that? Then underneath that, we've got that Eight of Swords. I really kind of do like the Eight of Swords because I feel like it's um, remember in wrestling when somebody would be hemmed up by some bad guys and then an ally would run in from the back and like surprise everybody and give him like a leg up, like kind of balance, um, even out the playing field here. I feel like this Aquarius energy is coming in, that eagle is coming in hot and ready. He's coming in ready to help you take these binds off. Remember the Eight of Swords, sword energy is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, very intellectual, very mental energy. Um, so this could have been where in the Eight of Swords you were tied up in this like mental paralysis. But on this side, the eagle of enlightenment is coming in. The ropes are loose and you have access to that Ace of Swords to cut yourself free. So this is wonderful. This is a release yourself with truth. Freedom is available, and here it comes. Okay, so out of the sun, here comes the eagle of enlightenment to help you get some um, context, perspective. Okay, there's some kind of information coming in underneath the sun here. I love this. This is truth. This is clarity. This is good information. This is like learning something. This is heavy learning something energy, something that's going to release you, which is great because underneath that you do have the tower, but it's on the back side. If you see here that lightning bolt, we're going to see the lightning again in another card in just a minute. The lightning bolt is the divine intervention that brings down this facade. Okay, what were we talking about earlier about a facade? I can't remember. But everybody is so afraid with the tower because it's destruction and there's people flying out and they're on fire and everything's on fire. But if you look at this card at the top, it is being observed by the eye of the divine. And underneath here, flying through, is the dove of peace. So this is a blessing in disguise. This is liberation. The tower always looks like a destruction. It always looks like a tragedy. It always looks like something you want to avoid. And that's the trap that a lot of people fall into with the tower energy, is that they want to try to avoid a disaster. I heard judgment. I heard people judge you if something goes wrong. So the fuck what? So what? Shit goes wrong all the time. How much control do you really have over everything? You don't. So here on the backside, you get to see why the divine destroyed this tower. And on the inside of the tower, it is empty. It's ruins. There's nothing in it. There's no light. It's crumbling. No one can live there. There's nothing there for you. Okay? And in fact, that's what the card says. It says empty ruins hold nothing for you. You are free to move on. And I think maybe that has to do with whatever this divine knowledge that's coming in, right? Oh, I see the scene in Labyrinth where at the end she finally looks at Jareth and she's like, "You have no power over me." That's kind of what this feels like. Underneath, look at this success, the Six of Wands. Praise, recognition, a job well done. You are seen, you're being encouraged. Continue in your, you know what I mean? Look at that right after the tower. Just let it go, let it fall. Okay? There was nothing in there, anyways. Here's the sphinxes down here from the chariot, which we will see in a minute, I think. We see that there, it's like your ride is here. Right, with the sphinxes here, these are the mounts that pull the chariot. They're going to pull you away from this disaster. Okay, so have faith because you have the success, Six of Swords. I mean, Six of Wands. Underneath that, you even have the Ace of Wands, which is no movement will be lost if you pause and regroup, and you'll definitely want to do that. This is here in the current energy. Underneath that, I mean, I'll keep reading until it doesn't make sense. So you've got the sun, blessing, okay? You've got the eagle coming in, ready to rip off these ropes and take off your blindfold so that you can be free from something. Then you got the tower that's going to destroy things and I heard escort, but I wanted to say transport you away from something, okay? Because it's your success that this tower goes down. Underneath the tower, you had the Ace of Wands. It is on the back side. This is like the sun setting. There's a moment of pause here, but you're raising your wands because it's active. So there's a moment to regroup and get perspective. That's great because you just came through the tower. That's fine. But underneath that, you even have the Fool. The Fool following the shooting star. Okay, you have the energy here to forge a really wonderful path for yourself, or going towards love, being invited or open to loving, being loved. Okay, this is wonderful. I love this current energy one. The Sun, the Eight of Swords on the backside, the Tower on the backside, success, the Ace of Wands, and the Fool. That's current energy. You are being set on a good course here. And every course is going to have some bumps, okay? Some speed bumps, some potholes. Something that is going to disrupt your journey. It's okay. It's okay. You got the sun here. Near future, here your energy, you've got the moon on the backside here. This is talking about inner, okay, so what did we have over here? Something about getting perspective after this. That pause, that Ace of Wands on the backside. There's a little bit of pause so you can gain perspective, and I feel like you're consulting your heart a little bit more. This is the inner feminine. Inner feminine power has risen. Oh, you're exploring truth without ego. Or if you're not, then this is the advice here. Explore your, oh, I can't show that she got boobies. Explore truth without reason. We do have an eclipse here. We're not due for another eclipse cycle for a long, long time. But this also could be the new moon. That's going to be in like 2-3 weeks, because we're coming up on the full moon in Aries in like 3 days. So, I mean, this is near future energy. We've got a new moon coming up. If if we have a full moon coming up in Aries, then I believe the new moon will be in Libra in 2 weeks. Don't quote me on that. I'm not, but so like in a couple weeks, within these next couple weeks, I heard, you'll have the opportunity to explore truth without the ego. That's the key to the moon, is that here you have the sun, and then right next to the sun you have the moon. And the sun is very much the ego, pride. It is illumination of the identity, but it is the illumination of what we want people to see, not necessarily the truth. Okay? The moon next to the sun here tells us to go underneath the ego. That's the significance of a lot of eclipse energy, is that the moon, the feminine, the shadow, the deep emotions, shuts the sun up for a minute. It quiets the ego so that you can really see what's underneath. Okay? So there may have been something here about this past relationship that had to be moved on from, where there was maybe hurt ego. Okay? But the moon here in the near future is telling you that there is an opportunity to look underneath that ego and get some good truth for yourself. A lot of people are afraid of that. Why are you afraid of that? Why would you be afraid of the truth? The truth is neutral. And if you face it and integrate it, there's only growth can happen from it. Okay? Will it be painful? Maybe. Growth is very often painful. And maybe that's where the fear comes in. That's where the illusion comes in. That's that moon energy. Underneath the moon, you have the reverse side of the Hanged Man. And this is something about illusions being shattered. This is great. I mean, I'm not even feeling a lot of fear here. I'm not feeling very much upheaval, even with that tower energy there, even with the moon here in between the two towers, and they're both hollow on the inside, right? After the destruction, you realize that shit was empty. There was nothing there for you. That was empty. So this hangman in reverse energy in the near future is saying, now this illusion is shattered. Now, what do you see? Do you see the truth of the situation? Do you see the truth of what your heart really wanted? Do you see the truth of intention? Do you see that there may be another path? What do you see? And you must be honest with yourself. Okay? Underneath the Hanged Man, illusion shattered, you have justice. On the front side, Libra energy, a situation demands the truth. Yeah. Be fair, but not cruel, but face it and accept it. Okay? Fairness without cruelty. That's the key here. For yourself and for any new opportunities. Be fair. And a lot of people, okay, so this is Libra energy, justice. Libra with the scales of justice is the only inanimate object in the zodiac. It's a thing. It's not a person like everything else in the zodiac is a person or something. Libra is the scales of justice. That is completely neutral energy. But it's also made of metal, and to touch, it's very cold to the touch. So a lot of times when Libra energy passes judgment, people will be very disappointed because you didn't take emotion into account. But you can't, because justice is blind to emotion. She can only process what's put in the scales, and what you put in the scales is the truth. Okay? This is the near future. This is really deep. This is all major arcana energy in the near future. So this may feel a little bit out of our control. You do have a lot of major arcana here. You got the sun. Okay? And underneath that, you've got the hermit. The hermit in the backside, though. This is Virgo energy. But this is secrets emerging. The hidden beckons. and it says pursue wisdom. Okay? But that's kind of further down. Right here in the near future, moon energy. Explore truth without ego, right? Then what do you see once the illusion is shattered? Remember, moon energy is illusion energy. So is Pisces energy because it's ruled by Neptune. There could be illusion there and delusions in Pisces. But here in Cancer, you've got what do you see when the illusion falls away? And be honest. Be honest, be truthful, and judge it accordingly, even if that includes you. Okay? Judge it accordingly. That's really deep energy for that near future because there's nothing really that on the 3D that we can do. This is all 5D energy because it's major arcana. So then looking forward here, we've got the Eight of Wands, but on the reverse, on the backside. Here's another bolt of lightning. This is energy coming back to you. This is an energy boomerang. What did you put out? What did you put out? Because the card asks, what did you do? Because whatever you put out is going to come back to you. Did you put out good? Did you put out, you know what I mean? Were you false with yourself? Were you false with other people? Were you false with your intentions? Were you false with your desires? Did you put your energy into the wrong places? Whatever you put out comes back to you. This is very Saturn energy, and we have Saturn in Pisces. Saturn in Pisces, conjunct with Neptune, conjunct with your ruler, the moon. So this is deep inner work here. You got to be truthful with yourself. Okay, what past patterns are you trying to break? Because the more you hang on to them, the more your hands are going to bleed. So this is an energy boomerang. This says what you put out is coming back. So what did you do? Is it good or is it bad? Okay, this is karma, Saturn energy. Underneath that, here's the Chariot. There's the Sphinxes from the tower coming to pick you up and drive you somewhere else. This is wonderful. It says take charge. Things are speeding up. This is determined movement. On the backside, you see the road is falling away because you realize once you make haste, that is done. There's no going back from this. And you don't want to because you passed the test. You had the Sphinxes twice. You had the Sphinxes twice. You passed this test. Why keep yourself in the cycle? You learn these lessons twice. Now move on. But you have the Seven of Pentacles here on the backside underneath that. This is awaiting some kind of results, okay? But have a plan just in case. Look, you're sitting here looking at something that did not come to fruition when you have all this energy that's pushing you forward. You have success twice here. Okay, you've got the Sun and you've got the Six of Wands bookmarking the Sun. You got success twice here, and that's in the current energy. I'm hearing get on the boat, get in the car, get whatever, just get. Okay? Because if you stay sitting in this stagnant position, looking at these things that didn't come to fruition, holding your sad shovel there like, what did I do? The ground is barren. That's what happened. The ground was barren. You planted something and expected it to grow in soil that had nothing to offer. That's why when the tower came down, they were empty. Okay? This is awaiting results. But it's advising you to have a plan just in case. You know why? Because you might be waiting something that is not going to grow. Look at that bush that he's looking at. That is the saddest, driest, deadest, not going anywhere bush I've ever seen. And I've seen some dry ass bushes. So it looks like whatever is on that is going to fall off and die. But the person is sitting there like, oh, maybe, just maybe, if I sit here long enough and ask real nice and beg real nice and just watch it and hope for the best, one of these things be might not be a failure. Baby, it doesn't matter. You have other things to move on to. Don't sit here and look at, remember the Four of Cups? Dwelling on disappointment? Dwelling on what went wrong? So here you are, sitting there looking at this dead tree. Maybe if I sit here long enough, something will grow. No. Okay? And because the longer you sit here, you've got that Five of Pentacles. Okay? Five of Pentacles. This is coming in after loss. So you're going to realize that there was something there that, you can't beat it to death so that it grows. Sometimes you just got to walk away because you're wasting your time. So this advises you to come back to yourself, make amends with yourself or others, and realize that there is help here. Look at these two here. You got him sitting there looking at this dead-ass bush that he's trying to grow from, and then you got him sitting here with his hands on his head, lamenting, what the hell did I just come through? Right? There is a little bit of good feeling energy in this Five of Pentacles, because on the reverse side, this means that the worst is over. It's like you're coming in from the storm, you're wet, so you're shaking your head. You're still recovering from loss. You're still recovering from a defeat. But now at least you're safe and you're being cared for. Okay? But this is, remember, the reverse side of the Five of Pentacles. Somebody sitting out in, alone in their principles. Look, I'm never going to fault somebody for being in this energy. I'm never going to fault somebody for dwelling too long in this energy, because it's oppressive. It's difficult. Sometimes it's so heavy you can't move. And that's how you end up spending so much time in this regret, in this loss. But as the card shows, on the reverse side, the person has now come inside of the sanctuary and you're recovering, okay? But don't dwell too long, because underneath that, you've got a wonderful Four of Wands. What the dealio? Oh my God. This is what will come of this Two of Cups. It's purpose married with passion. Two people taking an oath look at, we started with the Two of Cups. There they are with their cup. Very plain, very young, very stripped away. There's no what do you call it? When there's no regality, when you're decked out in your finest and you're trying to impress, and they're not dressed like that. They're dressed very simply. They're coming to each other pure, simple, sincere, with all the illusion of life stripped away. They come to each other in truth. Okay? So here they are celebrating at the end of it, looking forward. This is in the future. Here they are celebrating underneath the marriage arch. Okay? Passion married with purpose. And guess what? Under them, you got a beautiful Ace of Cups. You have to leave something behind, because in the near future, you've got something good coming in. Okay? There's the dove that came in from the tower, coming to rest on the beautiful Ace of Cups. Now, this is the divine intervention. Is this what's coming in from that Eight of Wands? Remember, it says what you put out comes back to you. Now here's the dove coming in from the tower. It's a gift of love, a blessing of happiness. So be ready to take it. Be ready to take it. Okay? This is wonderful. Yes, it looks so difficult. I do not envy you, Cancer. I do have Cancer in a very prominent placement in my chart. So I I know how these deep emotions feel. However, I'm mostly air and fire, so I have trouble processing that shit. You dwell in it. You live there. This is you, your pure energy. I can't handle this, but I have Cancer in a very prominent place in my chart, so I can understand. I have it in the seventh house with Saturn there. So that's difficulty in love. But Cancer, there is a there is a time in the near future where things are going to be hard for you because you're going to have to deal with your own inner desires, your own inner truth, okay? And that's really difficult for a lot of people. Some people just want to deal with what's on the outside, reality, what's in front of them. But you can't make good decisions moving forward if you don't have some kind of truth with yourself, okay? What are we at? 30 minutes already? Dang. Okay, so we'll get an ancestor oracle message for Cancer and then we'll wrap it up. So, Cancer, it's going to be a hard road, but you have to be brave and you have to trust the road. And in the meantime, you have to do some really hard inner work. You have to decide on some really important truths. And you have to call judgment on some things maybe that have been holding you back. That judgment or justice, that justice card, um, that's Libra energy. Yeah, you're gonna have to make some hard decisions for yourself. And they're showing me because remember when I was talking about how Libra energy can be cold because it's neutral? That's what you're gonna have to bring to some sort of decisions. Okay, inner decisions. You're going to have to be cold about some decisions here. I don't envy that. So, can we get please a oracle message for Cancer? Just one, please. Oh, the Lord. Do we want to take that? Take charge with authority. Oh, hello, Daddy. Take charge with authority. I might get another one. I don't like how that fell out, but he's being very forceful right now. He wants to speak, so let's see what the Lord wants to tell us. Soft, sweet, dreamy, always looking for the best, Cancer. It says, don't be afraid to take charge or use your voice, okay? Be strong. There wasn't a card in here that was talking about taking charge. I'm sorry, I don't know which one that was. Okay, sometimes you have to take control in order to be honored. Yeah. If you feel your kindness or your gifts are being taken for granted, it's time to change that. There is no excuse for bad behavior, and the ancestors are encouraging you. Sorry, I lost my place. To hold your ground and speak your mind in a fiercely loving way. You can be fiercely loving, especially to yourself. You have the energy and the might to overcome dramas or energies that aren't working for your growth. What was that? Seven of Pentacles. That's dead energy. There's something there that you're hoping. It's like you're hoping somebody will come. Or you're hoping something will change with someone. You keep staring at it like, I put all this effort into it. Can you please grow? No, you can't force it. That ground was dead. Sorry, I got distracted. So, you have the energy and the might, or the right. I'm going to say the right. I can't see this very well. You have the energy and the right to overcome drama or energies that aren't working for your growth. And it's time to take charge before you find yourself in a situation you don't want to be in. You're being encouraged to be the boss instead of being boss. It's saying don't let life or other people, especially people who don't have your best interests anymore, boss you around. It's like they're saying don't be so soft, Cancer. Don't let people boss you around just because you hope, oh, maybe if they see I'm really compliant with what they want, that they'll help me with what I want. No, they sense weakness. Oh, this person will bow to whatever I want them to just because they maybe want some crumbs back from me. Ah, I can pull this person along for the rest of their lives. Don't be that. The Lord, I'm glad the Lord dropped out because he's saying, big dick energy here, baby. Start swinging it. Okay? This card also brings the energy of ambition. Hey. And can show that you have the potential. I'm sorry, it's dark where I'm at. It's like I don't want to move the light because then it'll be too bright. So let me just try this again. This card also brings the energy of ambition and can show that you have the potential to move upwards on a professional level. Hey, but only if you act with authority and show who you really are. Cancer, look, y'all soft, okay? Y'all soft until you get angry. But why does it take anger to get you to show your power? Why? Because all that shows is that your power is coming from fear, and it's coming from disappointment, and it's coming from I'm sick of being hurt. You have to tap into power just for the sake of touching your power. Okay? Happiness. Touch it for happiness. Grab it for potential. Grab it for your honor. Grab it for your future. Do not wait until something breaks your soft heart for you to grab your power. That's what the Lord card is telling you. I'm sorry I got so heated. My goodness. Cancers, I love you. But yeah, I understand you can be softies. But look, there is sweet, sweet love here. It's just there's going to be a time period where you have to pass through some testing, and you do great. You really do. Because you have the Sphinxes here twice and the Chariot taking you away. Okay, Cancer, I hope that resonated for you guys. Let's see. I don't know what I have planned for tomorrow, so it'll be a surprise for both of us. Thank you for sticking with me this long. Until I see you again in the next reading. I appreciate you so much. Okay, thanks. Bye.